I've been busier than a one-legged man at a butt-kicking contest. All right, so NASDAQ just did a little 110-point dump and pump. Little liquidity grab right before the market opens here. So they got a little extra fuel to start moving this thing up. Let's see how they do things. I'm going to play my normal strategies. We're at 21,740 for NASDAQ, which is right up against a bit of a trend line. They've been here pretty much since 5:30 in the morning. I saw some people caught that one singular 5-minute huge drop. If you got that, then congratulations. That was a fantastic entry. Let me know how you caught that because I didn't see it. I started listening to that Sean Ryan podcast you mentioned on X last night. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Complete dumpster fire of a government that we have here. It's fantastic. All right, NASDAQ is already up to 770, new high of the day, new high of the week, month, all that kind of fun stuff. We'll see how this thing goes. On liquidity, very light stuff. We've got liquidity up to 6072. NASDAQ once again rejects this trend line for like the fifth time, 760 on a top week. Log in, I don't need that. Looking across the market already, we have got mostly green for the most part. XLV, PU, real estate are all red. Nvidia is almost back up to new all-time highs, just like that. Everything is pretty dang green on the tech side. Oil's green, gold red. We've got yields are mixed, mostly green, with bonds still hovering in the 87, unable to leave this 87, 88 range for nothing. Had a fantastic call last night on Tier 2. We talked about the opening move in balance. Which is a fantastic trade to take. I was going through all my archive channels last night, and back when we had like 700 and 800 people in the daily streams. That was a fun time. That was a fun time. The chats were crazy. I had to put everybody on slow mode for a while. That was good stuff. Trump says he will not pare back the tariff policy. Excellent. No gifs, all hands on deck. It was a great days, man. It was a great days. So what do we have on deck for today in terms of catalysts? 9:45 S&P Global Services PMI, so in 10 minutes. We have 10 o'clock, a bunch of random crap, nothing crazy, factory orders, 2-star event, 3-year bond auction at 1 p.m., and that is it. And the penalty box, so yeah. Huge green candles, up to 778 so far. We're talking about a 120-point bounce with volume, still unable to get through the trend line, rejecting the trend line left and right on NASDAQ. We got some crazy wind here in my neck of the woods today. Sounds like an El Nino out there. And El Nino is Spanish for the Nino. NASDAQ has 770 there with a very green CBD. ES has very light liquidity. Do I have a thesis for today? I do. Aside from some too much too fast shenanigans, profit taking, I think the bulls are going to maintain control of the charts until at least Wednesday. And that includes today. Justin Trudeau to resign this week, maybe today. Yeah, it'll be awesome to see if that actually happens. How long has he been dictator anyway? Like 10 years or something like that? Eight years? He's waiting for his pension to kick in. Yeah. Still going green here. Is he leaving or is it pitchfork time? Nah. We're not there yet. Things haven't gotten bad enough to be pitchfork time yet. All right, still holding 775 here. No trades for me yet. No trades for me yet. Still waiting for a good qualified setup here. We've had a very quick moves. I got some interesting. On Friday, I asked about what could make the Traders Anonymous channel better. And I did that with a purpose because in my planning going forward, in this being a true educational resource, some of the comments were, well, we're here for education and there's way too much. Look at me, look at my amazing trade, which, in my opinion, is completely worthless. So, my intent is going to continue to drive education and explaining down the road. And that's one of the purposes of that channel. And I'm going to continue to build into that channel. And we're going to talk about more about theory. Passed my top step combine this morning. Very nice. Congratulations. Well, we got XLF getting creamed here. Let's take a look at the options flow. Options flow here. I'm still looking for here. I got 3 minutes until I'm executable. We have kind of a lot of put buying here. Let me hit refresh to make sure. Very light options activity today. Very light options activity today. SPX GEX this morning is around 6,000. Up and around 6,000, plus or minus 5 here and there. So, $783. Still top wicking off of this level. So no follow through whatsoever in the 770 area. If this does breach, then I would probably look for 880, 900, that 20-point block up there. So far, we've been on a tear since Friday morning at 8 o'clock with virtually no pullback, which has led us to about 700 points worth of movement, 500 points worth of movement. Let's see. Justin Trudeau is set to make an announcement at 10:45. Top wick here. We've got about 20 seconds. $15-minute candle so far has a top wick. No follow through just yet. He's resigning. Heck yeah. Hero flow not too bullish right now. Only 10 minutes into open. Yep. Hoping for some red today. My auto investment's going today. There you go. XLF is getting plunged. The Dow and the Russell all plunged. VIX is still holding 1620. If TLT falls under 85, I'll have an auto tranche, and it'll be earlier than anticipated, obviously, because usually I was going to wait for a little bit. But yeah, it'll auto tranche. Boom. Seven 800 right there. There goes Apple. Still going. There's 810. Man, can we get 870? NASDAQ has this level right here at 830. Top wick on it, NVIDIA. Wait for the first 30 minutes. There you go. There you go. NASDAQ is still having difficulties with 800 here. Patience, grasshopper. Patience, grasshopper. They're either going to drop it, squeeze it, or sweep and drop. I think that's accurate. Yep. 800 here. If they did close, I would say 810, 813, somewhere in that area. I would probably say 870s on block for next. So price action here in the next couple of minutes is pivotal. We have data in less than 2 minutes, and then we have the top of the hour, which is very, very minor data, but it's still there. What's up, Paul? How you doing, buddy? A20. In Spirit Ethereum, because some people in here aren't familiar with too much too fast, this is why I took the short this morning. Too much too fast when we get a run up or run down overnight, creating a balance of orders. Beautiful. Traditionally, server we play that at the open. Because of the move this morning to the upside, I was looking to go short. The TMTF moves have been earlier and very muted lately, so I was looking to take the trade-off consolidation by 810. Use 863. Beautiful. I love it. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Now that is a high-quality post. Well done, Juicebox. Thank you for your education. All right. Double top wick right there at the 945. When do we get the imbalance back down to 660? That's what we're looking for. That is what we're looking for. Large red on Apple, red on NVIDIA, top wick on Microsoft, but still no real holding of anything yet. All right, still holding 800. We have extremely light options flow, like insanely light options flow. And if Spot Gamma logs me out one more time, I'm turning this Samsung G9 into a frisbee. But whatever options flow we do have is centered around calls. Way more call buying than put buying here, although both light, from what I'm seeing. Nasdaq 837 still heading higher. Last liquidity is ate up here on ES. Nasdaq is coming into the 830, 850 realm as we're entering resistance. Beginning to set up my plan here as we're now through the first 15 minutes of the day. I'm hanging out on the 15-minute chart. Top wick 816 again. There we go. At the 1-day implied move, how do you read that? That is a typical rejection point. It's a very consistent point on which the market rejects or bounces if it's on the low side. So we'll see. We're right back up inside the 6,000 area, which is the pivot point on the SPX for much higher or a rejection. So crossroads here as the extreme bullishness from Thursday on the S&P continues, or NASDAQ. Bitcoin's 100K again. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. NASDAQ was at 21K. Yeah, it was there 2 days ago. Now we're almost back at 22. So volatility's been pretty stout the past week and a half, which is good. I like playing volatility. It allows for ample opportunity. Sell big tech and invest in cash and invest in anticipation of the rotation for the next few years. I agree. Cyclical, small, mid caps are so oversold they're either going to go bankrupt or moon rotation when that happens. I agree. 2025 for me personally is a year of protection. It's been a very, very fortunate 4 years, and winter is coming. TradingView support, I signed up on our work email address that is no longer valid, but there's no way to change it. A call support which requires me to open a support ticket, which you need to sign in to do so. Do I have any ideas on how to contact support? It's ridiculous that there are no other support options. I mailed support. I don't know. I could see if I could try to reach out to him on your behalf and get the ball rolling. Slow grinder up snoozer day? No, I think we'll have a little reaction here. Just got to be patient. Either way, I do think the price action will be a bit more muted the first half of the week than the second half. Did anyone hear about the possible Biden announcement this morning? I hadn't heard about that. Hero indicator still showing calls over puts. Very light. Hardly anything at all, but still there. Nice still double top wicks again. Nvidia's down. Apple's down. Microsoft is still up, but no movement yet. Data in 8 minutes. Resting after 185-kilometer cross-country skiing. That's cool. 185 kilometers? Heck yeah, dude. Very cool, Damien. Is the market closed Thursday? Is it? What's it closed Thursday for? No way it's closed Thursday. Yeah, it's not closed. We're not closed again until January 20th, which is Martin Luther King Day and the inauguration. Oh, Carter's death. There you go. Yeah. Whatever. Widely considered one of the worst presidents in history, and all of a sudden he's like amazing. Chances to see pre-market lows today? I would be no. I don't think we're going to see pre-market lows today. I do think it's possible we can come back down to like 720 or so, but I don't think we'll have any major selling today. So. $8.43 still going. $8.26. Well, yeah, everyone came back from the holiday and smashed the buy button, but remember what happens to positioning and what's happening in 2 weeks. Yes, we have some catalysts this week, but in 2 weeks we have FOMC, and we have the inauguration, and then the passing of the torch, which I think will lead to a lot of red. So what's going to be happening is this is their last-ditch effort until FOMC for them to roll the VIX, destroy premiums, roll off IV, and begin to reset the market. So which usually happens going into a major catalyst like this, especially after the amount of red that we've had the past few weeks. So VIX dumps, I would probably say mid to high 14s-ish on the VIX, which is a tailwind. The market will bid up, VIX roll, and there you go. Here we are, 828. Overall, we've been pinned here right at 800 since the market opens. We have 5 minutes until data. It's time to shop for swing puts? Not yet. I think that I think it's a fantastic trade regardless, but yeah, I think it's a little early so far. Just looked at Reddit stock. What is going on there? Man, I haven't heard about Reddit since they IPO'd. Yeah, they're launching. NASDAQ retest is between 870 and 880, which is another 40 points higher from here if it does do it. We've got a little bit of a doji here, 5-minute doji, 2 in a row, 15-minute top wicks off 840. Unable to follow through, really. TLT still holding 87. I love that trade, baby. I feel good about that. It's going to be a great year, man. Got to put it out in the ether. It's going to be a great year. Top wick still, 15-minute. That's 2 top wicks in a row. So we're beginning to build a characteristic of selling into strength. The VIX doing as promised. Promised a lot of stuff, Joe. I love it. I love it. I thought it was closed on Thursday, but they're selling options for Thursday. I'll have to look into it. I don't know. I haven't paid too much attention to it, honestly. $8.06. Pretty slow action so far. Is it going to be that top wick higher junk? It's very possible. I do think the bulls will maintain control until at least Wednesday. Even if there's a little selling profit taking, overall I think the bulls will still maintain the bottom wicks end or control until Wednesday. At least that's how I'm going to play it. $21.818. I'll step out for a few minutes so I can plunge 300 points. We're about to get the data here in about 10 seconds. Then we're going to start looking for an imbalance move. Dump and fly at data. Possible. Well, I've got, they are increasing the amount of puts trading here. Oh, man. Here we go. Love it. Love it. 750. TLT is down. XLF is red. Taking it easy today? Well, it's always good to ease into Mondays to start the week. You ease into the week on Mondays. You ease out of the week on Fridays. You just play the bread and butter. That's my opinion. A lot happened this weekend too. Yeah. Coming down 807. Beautiful. I'm going to begin to play my imbalance move back to the somewhere in the 720 area to see if we can bottom like off 720 and then head back higher. Just a little profit taking and a little imbalance move back into the market open. That's what I'm going to look for at least. So we already got it. It is now 10:01. Pretty slow, choppy stuff so far, other than the opening little blast, the first 5-minute candle. NVIDIA is currently sitting at 150 after bouncing way down at 126. Kids are sick too. Man, everyone is sick, dude. I'm finally getting over my crap. It was terrible, man. I still have this like tickly, raspy cough too. It's terrible. Ice baths. There you go. I don't do ice baths, but I do monthly donations in the form of vast payments to our all-powerful and knowing government. And I figured if I keep on making those payments, that eventually I'll have some sort of, health benefit. My fair share, yeah. I was going to comment on that statement, but I won't, Still not moving. 820, 830. Have you tried the Cairo cold rooms? I haven't, no. They've had a norovirus breakout here in Colorado. Yeah, here in Alaska too, we've had crazy norovirus too. The more time it consolidates here, the larger the effect, right? Yeah, 100%. We've already been here now since, what, the first 5-minute candle. Hit up a good spa. Heck yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, 808. I'm still looking here. This doesn't look like a necessarily. The 5-minute just has consolidation. The 15-minute here has some top wicks, so it's kind of a blended motion right here. I still would like to see 740, 720 fill there before a bounce and go back higher just to kind of regather inventory. Obviously, they could go up, but, you know. Still no movement. We've been flat. We have liquidity down to 750 on NASDAQ. ES has 60-40, and I think we could finally start heading down that way. Not a big move, just a little profit taking down. I'm just playing the imbalance move to the market open hash in that area. Off to the gym, nice. Y'all ever seen a bald eagle in person? Those things are massive. I know we don't really play patterns. No, we do play patterns. We just don't play them as the primary resource. Yeah, so like a 5-minute is a bit of consolidation, and 15-minute is more of a top wick, but we have to just kind of wait. Very slow. So the upside goal, if they were to clear out this 840 area, we're going to 870 quickly. If they reject it, play down to the imbalance of about 720 and then bounce there. I do not expect a big sell-off today at all, or any kind of major reversal, other than some profit taking. And if they don't get that profit taking, then we're quickly going to go to 880. But I still think we're going to play an imbalance down to 720-ish before a bounce. I was very confident on that this morning, and then they did that big dump right before the bell to go ahead and achieve that goal prior. What's Trading Ticks telling me? 60-20 Gex currently. Is that 870 based on the low from December 24th? That is affirmative, yeah. So that's in multiple bounces on the 26th and the 27th. As well as, what is this right here? And the 24th, yeah. So it's a support resistance flip. So if we clear that, if we clear right here, then we're going to rocket right to that and test the 840 or 870, 880. And I'm just giving a little 10-point little block there for accuracy purposes. There we go. There's a little 800 touch. Nice little move down. Here comes 720. Beautiful. From 836 down to 8780. That was a quick 50 points. But they are bottom wicking. Sorry about that. Bottom wicking it. Like it. I like it. Play the probabilities, baby. Play the probabilities. To be successful and play the probabilities, sometimes you have to have massive cojones. Sometimes. Bottom wick back up. All right. Let's see. Still pinned A20 after that nice little bottom wick. 50 points down, 50 points back up. What was the VPA signal for that trade other than balance fill? There wasn't much for it other than we had some 15-minute top wicks, which is I'm sitting on the 15-minute. The fact that we've had a pretty robust bull move for now 2.5 days, and we kind of fizzled out here since the first 5-minute candle of the day. We've now been pinned for going on an hour. I was just looking for an imbalance fill back down. Not a lot of big moves, not a lot of red. I'm not looking for a huge reversal, just a move down to clear out inventory, bounce, and start attacking 880. It's obviously they could do it without it. Now that 50-point little dump and pump could be the move to get us to 880, and it's looking likely. So if we come up here and take 850, I probably would not look for any more shorting after that. Just take that one play after 850, and then we'll probably go 880. And after that, if we clear 880, most likely 960's on deck. So they made the imbalance move before the market opened, it appears. That 915 candle, that's why I hate to see that crap right before the market opens, because usually that leads to strong trend. But that's the way it is, man. That's the way it is. There it is, new high of the day. Climbing. How would you interpret if volume is increasing for buyers? We were losing delta constantly, then a big volume wick on the cumulative volume delta. Because I relong 970 on that anomaly. So buy volume, I mean that bottom wick candle there was a sweep lower to bottom wick and head higher. So as a VPA long signal right here. Now if you got 790, that's an incredible entry. You were Johnny on the spot. I don't know how you read it that fast, but that's an incredible entry. You almost bottom ticked it. But the 5-minute candle resulted in a very large bottom wick with volume and took out the prior high, which will get us to 880. 8:43 here. Very slow action, which fits right in line. VIX still rolling over under 16. The use of illicit drugs apparently has hit an all-time low in 2024. I guess people don't pay taxes. Should be at an all-time high. I feel like using some illicit drugs. Did they take a survey? Yeah, who knows? 850. There we go. 870, 880 on deck. Slow. Oh, man. Slow stuff. We do have a great end of the week, though. We've got FOMC. We've got FOMC minutes, I'm sorry. Non-farm payroll, all that stuff. Still going green. I think we got close to 870, 865. Do I ever correlate ADD? I personally don't. I know some people do, but I don't. I generally thought if you asked OM if he had ADD. Sometimes I think I have ADD. I got squirrel brain, man. Going green, baby. Going green. $860. We got oils coming back off after 75. So oil worked out very well. You know, we played the 69 bounce, and 74 was first target. Now it's 75. So that 69 bounce was fantastic. Gold I haven't watched in a while. Silver I haven't watched in a while. After the big rally a couple months ago. RTY looks like it's in rejection territory to head back down to 2190. Their chart looks terrible. As small caps continue to grossly underperform the market, not even coming close to reaching new all-time highs as everything else. 22K, let's get it. Yep. Dow and Russell are plummeting. XLF is coming down, so the little rotation out and a little buy up here by everything else. $860, still holding. We're through the trend line that we've been rejecting over since early December. But just waiting. Trudeau is to officially resign as Prime Minister. It's official, apparently. Look at that liquidity here. Large liquidity at 6060 ES. NASDAQ has 22,000, but still has 21,750 on the books. He does want to be the first governor of Canada. I love it. The state of Canada. Isn't that time good timing? What, 14 days before the main event? I gotta delete it. It's got profanity in it, bruh. Bruh. Well, not a lot of movement here. Very slow, boring day other than the first 5 minutes. Which, not to sound too cliche, but kind of what we talked about last night, is that we expect volatility to begin low in the first half of the week, with the bulls maintaining control that picks up into the last half of the week, with sellers not necessarily taking control, but participating a little bit more than the first half of the week. What time I'm signing off? I'll let you know pretty soon. Free is free. Yeah. I took two trades. I got stopped out by a tick and ended up running my profit target. Lost over 100 points in profits. Thinking of just taking off stop losses. How can I stop losing like this? Well, what you described is the nature of short-term trading. It's very difficult, obviously. Short-term trading is inherently unpredictable. You have to nod to the unpredictability of it, even in the best of conditions. And the first way to do that is, of course, reducing position sizing all the way down to give yourself time in the charts. Just like if you take a long, you've got to do it with the position sizing enough that you expect the shake and bake to get in. Because just because you enter at the top of let's say you long a 5-minute candle, and it just so happened to be the very top of that 5-minute candle before a small red. 5 minute, I mean that's nothing. 5-minute candle is nothing. And the next candle will bounce and go higher. But if you look at that same setup on the 30-minute, strong green trend. You just happen to catch the bad of the 5-minute candle. So if you're going to do this style of trading, you've got to have either a very quick trigger to get out of losses quickly, which really kind of brings you into the realm of high frequency trading. But if you're going to get out very quickly when things break down very quickly, then you can't look for very big profits. 5, 10 points on NASDAQ, 15 points at the most, and then get out, which I hate. That's a terrible way to trade, in my opinion. The second realm is to put on small position sizing, not necessarily forget about stops, but make them wide. But you have to utilize small position sizing and just wait until the trade works out. But in my opinion, in order to do that, you have to have a good handle on market analysis, because if you're savvy enough to identify a strong uptrend, just because you missed the first 5-minute candle, okay, then just wait it out and then wait till it goes back up. Now, I'm not saying just sling a 5-minute long and just take your hands off and forget about it. I'm saying do your analysis, figure out where to go, put on the trade, risk whatever dollar amount you want to risk relative to your account size, and take your hands off. Y'all are starting to take the gifs a little too far. Love y'all, but got to keep it PG rated. I'm just taking off stops. You know, um, from a short-term trading, that sounds like a very. If you're good, I'm not going to say it's a great idea, Vor. What I'm saying is that if you're going to partake in short-term trading, it's not unicorns and rainbows like everyone makes out to be. It's incredibly frustrating. A lot of short-term trading is in fact not technical, it's feel. It's experience based by what you normally see. And you have to understand the effects of algorithmic liquidity flows. So if that requires you to take stops off, cool, whatever. But you have to utilize small position sizing. Have to. Every single trade without refute. Every single time. I don't mind it personally. I'm usually turning up for laughter. No, me too. I like it. It's fun. I want to have fun. But we have to keep the sex part out of it. We do have all walks of life in here. got all my papers done for my Italian citizenship, even for my kids, so in the future they could study in Europe. But overall, schools are especially the private schools in Montreal, are very good. A lot of Catholic schools too. Oh, cool. That's good. I find myself shorting stock more than buying puts. The margin requirements are fairly reasonable that you are leveraged by the decay of options, but I've never seen anyone talking anything but buying puts. Buying puts is going to pay more. That's why. Which I'm with you. I started my career shorting and buying stocks. So yeah. Puts are tough because it's rare for something to fall without constantly bouncing. 100%. Yeah. So $150,000 account with 4.5 drawdown, how much sizing would you use? I use 10 micros, which I don't think is too oversized for that account size. I mean, that depends on you, honestly, Vor. Me personally, that's the account that I use on Top Step. I'm using anywhere between 1 to 3 minis. But I have a large padding. I've been doing this a while. I know my own personal system and I know my own personal risk tolerance. If you're just starting out or if you're newly funded, I would use 1 to 2 micros and forget about the fact that you've got $150,000 account on a $4,500 drawdown and simply just pad up the account. Trade 1 to 2 micros. Allow yourself the ability to keep the account open for 20 days or 1 month. 20 sessions in 1 month, and see what you can do. 1 to 2 micros. There are times where I'll put on, even on my account, I'll put on a 1 to 2, maybe even 3 micros overnight, and I'll hold them. I will not even set a stop. I won't set an alert. I'll just go to sleep, wake up, and I'll see what happens. Sometimes I'm down $200. Sometimes I'm up $600. Sometimes I'm dead flat. Doesn't matter. No effect. Whatever. That's what I would recommend you do. If you're having trouble trading like that, when you see a particular setup, put on 1 micro. Go to sleep, wake up, see what happens. I would not short that move. In fact, I would only do that move to the long side. And that's it. And then set a stop if you want, whatever. Do you try and manage the position if you're down, or you just call it a loss and move on? It depends. If it's grossly down, I'll go ahead and close it out. If it's close, I'll leave it open. I'll just forget about it, and I'll leave the micros on. I'll flip over to minis, and I'll trade my minis in my normal system during the day. That way I could leave that trade on, and And if I happen to catch the trend and I'm in the money and Nasdaq flies 700 points, then I catch every penny of it. The thing you have to do, VorFX, is you have to take out the need to be incredibly accurate in this game. Short-term trading is insanely unpredictable. I don't care how smart you are, how good you are. There's always a very large part of this that's unpredictable, which is why you always have to use risk management. On paper, buying puts has a well-defined loss, whereas shorting is limited. I think retail traders just like that defined loss. Use a lot more money, but on a bad play. Yeah. The problem with short-term options with retail traders, though, is that they don't know how to cut their losses. And when they watch an option go down to 80% loss, their thought is, screw it, I'll just hold it. And now they rack up 20, 100% losses. And that's what kills you. You get nickel and dimed. So people don't know how to cut losses. And if you go with zeros, it gets to 80% loss very quickly. If you go at 3DT, you get to 80% loss very quickly. And then you just say, screw it, I'm going to hold it. And now you've got, you look back on your trading log and it's 100% loss, 100% loss, 100% loss. And you're like, how the crap did I get here? And all of a sudden you've given back 20 grand. So that is why I swing trade with $30,000 to $40,000, and I day trade with options anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000. There's a difference because a 0DT option goes away very quickly. In a swing trade, I've got a lot of time to defend, negate, offset deltas, write premium, etc. A lot different. Do I set stop losses? I do, yes. I know me, and I know me, I can't not set stop losses. Other than what I just told you with the micros overnight, then I won't even set them. But when I'm trading normal positions on the short-term stuff, I have to set stop losses. You can just lie on Robinhood and get instantly access to puts. Let's see here. Yes, we got 60-70. With so many brokerage options out there, I don't know why people would use Robinhood for day trading. 100%. Where would you enter to take a short on 800? My short thesis was quickly and very smallly fulfilled. I would not necessarily look for another short here until we got, well, we're already at 880. Rejection off 880, if we took out 846, we could possibly move back down. But you need some volume because this is a low volume grind up. Now that if we take out 880 though, I would say 950. But today's not necessarily the day of the short. I would kind of remove, other than some imbalanced profit taking, any big rollover, big shorting. I would push that off until the end of the week. That thought process. Maybe Wednesday afternoon going into Friday. I thought about putting overnight position on with trailing stops. 30-point trailing stop would have banked this morning. Yep. Do you do any analysis on the 10-year notes? Nothing crazy in depth because honestly, I've never seen anything like this. I don't think a lot of people have, so I don't know what really to make of it other than what's already common knowledge. The 10-year yields have been rocket ships since July. So it's weird, because we're now through 100 basis points of cuts, and the yields are now 100 basis points higher, more 130 basis points higher. Mortgage rates are going back up. Delinquencies are skyrocketing. Interest rates are going back up. And I don't understand. Like, it's unlike anything we've really ever seen. In my opinion, my sole big highlight is the fact that the market is not believing what the Fed is doing. That's the market. You have to go with what the money says. The money says we don't believe you. You could say anything you want, but we don't believe you. And not to get political, but I think we're at a bit of a crossroads with a lot of political tug of war, and I think it's not. I can't even think this morning. I think the Fed is not independent of that. I think they're very much intertied with that, despite the fact that they say that the Fed is independent of the government. I think it's not, and I think that's part of the struggle here. 1 second, I have to answer a phone call. Did the selling of the bonds by the Chinese and Japan have anything to do with it? Yeah, I think that has something to do with it. I think a little bit of economic warfare out there has something to do with it. Not to mention, the Japan repatriation of funds, which has been ongoing. Either way, I have to. This is a lot of stuff that I have to kind of relearn how to fly because I've never experienced any of this before. So they aren't being transparent. I don't know that. I don't know. I think I wasn't necessarily talking about transparency. I was talking about their intention. Why are they doing what they're doing? Why has the Fed been so adamant about cutting when there's not really any signs to cut? And why is the market pricing out the need for cuts? $6057 ES. Yeah, the delta's pretty strong. We got 3100 on ES. We've got 3300 on Nasdaq, which is very strong. 21900 appears to be the target. So, for me personally, I have to admit to myself and to y'all, obviously, that I don't really know because I've never seen it before. But there's one thing that I know about the markets is that when there's something that's unknown or new, that usually leads to volatility. And there's a reason why. We just have to be patient for it. And it's going to lead to volatility. The market can't do what it's doing at an unknown rate with a bunch of unknown variables and lead to nothing. So it'll lead to up, it'll lead to down, it'll lead to nothing. Oh man, try to cancel and you can't. Um, you cancel your order, like your market order. $621,890. How's Hero looking? Let me hit refresh. As of a little bit ago, is all calls, but let me hit refresh and look. Still all calls. 1.14 billion in calls and virtually no puts. 100 million in puts. So this is an all call day, baby. Didn't J Powell say he's taking in uncertainty into government spending? He did. Yep. In the new administration. GEX is now still centered around 6,000, which is nothing new. Do you wait for high lows, retest, and shorts, longs? Um, I don't. Yeah, I do. That is one strategy. Yeah, I don't only wait for that, but yeah, definitely. Those are the high confidence stuff. Like today for me, catching this trend up, like this has been a low confidence day because the imbalance move happened before the market, which launched the trend before the market and go higher. So whenever you see a move, for future purposes, whenever you see a move like what you saw at 9:15, 100-point dump and then pump immediately, there's a reason why they're doing that. They're stopping out the longs and they're going to bag the shorts. And they're doing that to gather inventory so they could buy at the discount and sell at the premium. That's like they're taking their ice cream scoop and they're getting way down in that thing and scoop up the ice cream and hit it higher. So they're gathering inventory so they could sell it. Still going up. I think the same way. They are scheming at that point. My position sizing long decreased when they tried to do the TMDFT sneakily and not reach the imbalance. 100%. Yeah. But are liquidity sweeps only playing after the fact, or can you tell them in real time? You can tell them as they're the last half of them. So there's two things to look at when you're looking at that stuff, Vampire, which is a valid question. Have we been in a long-term consolidation that quickly and abruptly leaves on a monster candle? So are we flat with not any real catalyst, obviously? So if we have no real catalyst, and we've been consolidating for a while, and all of a sudden, boom, we have this massive candle out of nowhere, I'm very skeptical of that candle. It's not like we're beginning to round over and dump and then huge red candle. It's flat, 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 blast. Huge candle. So that's one candle you do not want to chase because that reeks of liquidity sweep. And then, if you're already kind of sitting up waiting for it, after you see the candle occur, now you look, all right, well, if this is a liquidity sweep, what do I expect to see? Big move into some sort of support with a wick. Now, this candle touched the prior pivot from 6 o'clock in the morning and then immediately wicked. You could play that wick if you're an aggressive player. Bounce and go back up. And then if you happen to catch the whole move, then great. And if you stop out, that's okay too. Just make sure you're doing your risk mitigation. It's all about probability based. So it's the balance between what was the situation before. Does it lead to the probability of a liquidity sweep? Then the second question is, does it happen to touch or bounce at a major level, like an overnight low or something like that? And then the third equation is, am I going to enter on any kind of resulting wick that I want to be seeing? Does a price action lead to the final question, which is, am I going to enter this? So again, short-term trading is very difficult because you have to make very quick decisions on very quick price action, especially if you're someone who's using like the 3-minute and the 5-minute. And if you're on the 5-minute, you have to make a quick decision. There's not a lot of opportunity and there's not a lot of time. Does that make sense? Nice. Some of these explanations would make for some great short content. I like it. I'm on my last press here, man, to get through what I've got so much going on that's why content's kind of taking a back seat. So I'm almost done, and we're gonna get to rocking and rolling on a lot more content. I'm exhausted, not gonna lie. As long as you keep posting those dynamite levels. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. But the whole thing, I'm sure some of you picked up by now that everything that I do is It's thinking about what the market is trying to do through a liquidity perspective, not what it should do from a news or bullishness or bearishness crap, but from a liquidity perspective. On a strong uptrend, for example, the market can't continue to go up without inventory. The market cannot continue to sell off without the opposite of inventory or willing sellers. So, or willing buyers, I'm sorry, because you need buyers to be able to dump the market because you have to be able to sell that crap off to somebody. So you have to be able to think in terms of what's the market doing from a liquidity perspective, which, you think out sweeps, you think out why they reattack the same level over and over and over again or top wick at a certain level because they have to induce liquidity. That's why they get people, like how many people do you think shorted that big red candle, the bottom of that candle at 9:15 this morning? I bet you a whole bunch of people shorted the crap out of that candle. There's a big red candle, I'm going in short and bounce. Because that's the point of it. Still flat. All right, what time is it? It is 11:01. We have liquidity at 21.9. It's been a very slow grind up. And we're now hanging out here at 875. VIX down at 76. But yeah, so far, thesis is intact as we kick up the dust into the end of the week. We do have increasing puts here. They began to buy puts as of about 30 minutes ago. We are now at 400 million in puts versus 600 million in calls. We were up to 1.14 billion in calls. Coming down. So maybe a little profit taking. We've gotten a 900 or 890, which could lead to a little profit taking. But other than that, I'm not going to play it. Slow stuff. All right. We're going to start wrapping things up here, which means we'll probably have a big reduction. But keep spiking just now. Yeah, puts are beginning to roll in. XLF looks terrible, by the way. Been red pretty much all day. But if you want to play anything else into the afternoon, I've had some conversations with people the past week. I think a lot of people's problems is they try to trade all day. I'm a big believer of shutting it down in the morning and getting out. So if you are having some consistency problems, consider that. If you are going to trade, please wait for any kind of real volume, even if it's a singular event. Yeah, put the put flow there. Yeah, save your mental capital, 100%. What's up, No Kung Fu? What about a put credit spread for 3 to 4 weeks out on SPY SPX? I think that's a great trade. In my opinion, I'm a little. I think it's a little early for it. Maybe a couple of days waiting. I should stop for the day. I'm up 4%, dude. Yeah, shut it down, dude. 4% is incredible. 4% is an absolute incredible day. So, any final question before we start wrapping things up? Anyone think the election day gap is still in play? I do. Probably not the first 3 days of the week, but I do think it's still in play. Yeah. My rule when I started is that if I beat the average S&P 500 yearly return in a day, I shut it down and use the rest of the day to study. There you go. Absolutely, you deserve to be darn early. Yeah. Heck, as hard as this game is, if you're even green on the day, you deserve to be done. You are statistically better than everyone else when you even have a green trade, despite what Twitter tells you. I think a lot of traders suffer from thinking that they have to be right 100% of the time. If they're not, they go into self-destruct mode where they know sabotage on trading continue. You know what one of the biggest things I've been surprised of the past 3-4 years, the inability to accept a red trade, or God forbid, a red day. I'm talking about with your profits. It's weird to me because trading, it's par for the course to have red days and red trades. I mean, it's literally as common as breathing. So why is it so difficult for people to take a red trade or a red day? You go emotion, yeah, yeah. But there's got to be some intellect in there where you like talk to yourself, hey, a losing trade in trading is incredibly common. Everyone loses very frequently. So why does a retail trader hold themselves to such a standard that's of perfection, where you cannot have a red day or even a red trade without tripping the Armageddon emotions of screw it, I'm just going long here, screw it, I'm going to FOMO and I got to get it back and all that crap. So it's weird. I don't know. It's something that's taken me a while to understand. But then thinking back, I went through that stuff myself. Nobody likes being a loser. Yeah. Accountability, yeah. Making it, there's no one else to blame. For me, I take too much pride in turning a red trade into a green trade. That works 90% of the time, but I tend to overhold the other 10%. 100%, yeah. Regarding what you said about red days and accepting them, I read this book and it really helped me with that kind of logic. Definitely. Let's see what that is. I've become a lot better trader at trading less and more quality setups. Love it. It's a basic human sinful nature of greed. Yeah, greed is a very common answer, and I think a huge, if not all, part of it, definitely. But I think there's more to it than that. There has to be like there's like a switch in your brain that you connect emotion with intellect, and it breaks that connection when you have this emotion of losing trade because there's got to be a part of your brain that says to yourself, all right, I hear the emotional side of my brain, but red trades are as common as going to the bathroom, as breathing, as normal stuff. Pride coupled with greed, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And it doesn't help that, people online and they make it seem like this is the easiest thing in the world and everyone's winning and everything is unicorns and rainbows when it's not. Which is why I hate cheerleading. I hate it. I've been trading 3 years, finally profitable. Thanks, OM. You've changed my life for the better. Nice, Jeff. Boonana. I love it, buddy. Well done, man. It's an awesome feeling. Accepting a red trade means accepting a failed analysis. 100%. It's kind of the same thing as learning to say an instrument. Some people get discouraged by hearing themselves suck. Yeah, as a guitar player, I can understand that feeling too. They give it out without knowing how to practice in the process. Yeah. Fight or flight. Trading was hard because I used to sports where I could just try hard in the moment when the best thing in trading is to give in and accept the loss for that day and walk away. And the older you get and the more experienced you get with trading, you realize that there's an emotional price to pay in trading. And sometimes saving that emotional toil is just as worth it as the profitability. Shutting it down and just kind of relaxing is worth its weight in gold to me. So like that's why I'm done. I'm done at 10:30, 10:45, boom, out. Feel great. I know early on it would be to trigger happy on my entries without really doing much analysis on longer time frames. starting to look kind of toppy. You and me both, brother. You and me both. Right here. All right. Any final questions? What do we got here? I wouldn't say it's always pride ego. I think it's part of the progress. You need green to make a positive percentage. When you take a day's loss, now you've given up progress. A lot of people see that as you're taking steps back. No one wants to move backwards. Yep. Take steps for. I swear I just heard bubbling. Yeah, I've got my. I had a delivery truck to show up to the farm, and I've got my camera. And I'm watching. It's very windy out there. That's the bad part about living on top of a hill, is that it's incredibly windy on windy days. There's nothing to stop the wind. They're turning a chong now. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 100%. 100%. All right, y'all. I'm going to call that a day. Very light trading for me. It does appear to be a little toppy here, but the theme still of the week is the big shorts will come at the end of the week. The first half of the week is for the bulls. So, yeah. The last line of defense here on liquidity is 21,900. We'll see what happens. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Is he putting that inside there? Look at you. Just don't run over my crap, bro. All right, y'all have a good rest of the day. Don't get hacked up. We have a lot of crazy volatility at the end of the week, so don't get your hand slapped here trying to fight the small stuff. Other than that, I'll see you all bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm out. See you.